So today I'm in an awesome place. This is the new co-working space here in Port Coquitlam. It's the Fountainhead Network. It's really cool and awesome. I love coming to work here. Look how nice and how much space is there. Okay, so this is what I wanted to start today's video with. Today we are going to be discussing the website as a service, which is the instant websites, things, platforms that are like Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, and the likes of those page builders. So let's dive into it. Hi guys, so we're going to be discussing today the instant website as a service networks like Wix and Weebly and Squarespace and the likes of them. These platforms, they started basically as page builders. So it was a place where you can go to easily build a web page, turn it into a website. So usually you'd build maybe 2 or 3 pages, like a home page and a contact us page and an about us page or our services page, and then link them together, and you have yourself a website that you've done in a quick time or in a limited amount of hours. So anyway, before we delve into all the differences and why choose a network, or how to choose a network, or what would you choose to build your own website, you need to first figure out how websites should be built. So this is a presentation that I had some time ago, and basically I like this slide because it sums it up. So building a website is like building a house. You need a solid foundation. On top of the foundation, you have the framework, and then once you have your framework, you get your interior decoration done, like the walls and the colors and the decoration and stuff. So the same thing with your website. The first thing that you should think about is your foundation. In this respect, the foundation is your hosting. Where is this website going to live? On what hosting network, right? And the thing that Wix and Weebly, so it's Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, there are probably 1 or 2 more networks, but these are the famous ones that I know of. So this is basically what they have. They offer you a no-fuss entry level, where you don't need anything. It's just hosted there. So you get, like, for example, if you get the entry level Wix, it's $5 a month, and then here's how much storage you're getting, and then you can connect your own domain name, or you could use their subdomain. So your website will be mywebsite.wix.com or wix.com/mywebsite or something like that. Or you could bring in your own domain and link it, and then you'll have it hosted on Wix. And as you can see, this is the pricing levels. So basically, they're all kind of competitive with each other, and then they have tiers. So this is the entry level, and then you upgrade to combo. You get a little more bandwidth. You get a little bit more storage. You connect your domain, and then they give you some video hosting as well, which is like 30 minutes. And then you can remove the Wix branding or the ads that are there, and they also get you can choose a new domain name and register it with this tier for free. So you get a free domain as well. And as you can see, every upgrade comes with a little bit more. Basically, here where it says remove Wix ads, it means that the $5 a month has Wix ads on it, which means your website built on Wix will be showing people some ads. Some of them could be Wix ads, some of them would be coming from their network. And then here's Weebly, okay, which basically you can start free, and again, probably this will have their own branding, and then $6 a month personal, and then 12 professional, performance is 26, and so on. And then the good thing is that Weebly itself as a network is actually owned by Square, the payment company or the e-commerce company So Weebly is a little bit easier to have a shop on if you don't want to use Shopify or something else. Then you have your Squarespace, and it's a little bit different because it starts at $12 a month, so it's a little bit more expensive than the other networks. But of course, it will allow you different things than probably Wix and Weebly. So, okay, let's get down to the basics. So basically, many people like to start here with these platforms mainly for two reasons. Reason number one, they don't have to worry about hosting, security, updates, whatever. It's a platform. So it's a software platform where your website will live and everything in the back end is taken care of for you. So you don't have to worry about anything but building your own website. Number two, they all have some kind of templates, making the website build easy. You could just select the template, it's ready-made, you change some bits here and there, and here you go, you have your first website, no fuss. And it's the same case with all of them, like all three or all five, or I'm sure there's more than maybe 10 different ones. And that's the idea. Okay, so in order to do a fair comparison, we also need to check how much does the hosting cost. So if you don't want to go this way, if you want to host your own website on your own hosting where you have full control, how much is that going to cost you? So let's check one of the hosting companies that I use. Okay, $4 more or less. Most of the hosting companies will have good discounts for people joining for the first time. So yeah, it's about $4 a month, which is similar to the $5 a month here. However, here you're only limited with 1 gigabytes of bandwidth and monthly and 500 megabytes of disk storage, right? Whereby when you have your own hosting here, you've got 100 gigabytes of disk storage and probably, I'm not 100% sure how much traffic do they give on their basic plan, but I'm sure that it will be a little bit more than the 1 gigabyte traffic that is on Wix or all the other networks. Yeah, so this is the comparison when you buy your own hosting. Okay, so some people could ask, what am I going to do by just buying my own hosting, right? It doesn't have the templates and the ease of use that comes from using Wix, Weebly, and Squarespace. So basically, when you buy your own hosting here, you can install WordPress. WordPress itself is free, and then it comes with many templates on its own. So WordPress on its own has its own ecosystem, and it comes with many good-looking templates and many free plugins that will help you also build your website in no time. Now, what else should you look at when you're looking at these different options? I don't know if you're aware, but most of these networks don't allow you to take your design with you. So if you start building a website on Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace, and then down the line, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, you decide to move away and go get your own hosting and build your own website with full control, you cannot take your design with you. This is a very important thing. You're locked in. All the designs that you have on one network, even if you want to move between Wix to Weebly or from Weebly to Squarespace or from Squarespace to Wix or whatever, the design you have in there is not portable. It will not come with you. You'll end up rebuilding your website again from scratch. So this is one thing to be aware. The other thing is the prices that you see in here, yeah, is a forever price. So the payment doesn't stop. You're paying for good. For as long as your website is active, this is what you're paying on a monthly basis. And sometimes on some of the networks, you'll see that it's an annual pricing. Like here, for example, it's billed annually. So the personal is 6 per month, which means 6 times 12. Now I'm gonna have to be good at math. It's probably 72. So this will cost you somewhere around $72 per year. But if you choose the month-to-month billing is $9 just to be a member on the network. It doesn't give you any specific design services as per se. You'll just find their templates, and then you have to do everything there yourself. Same thing here. Build monthly or annually, you get a little bit of a discount, like 25% off, but these payments are forever, like it never stops. So you're paying forever. So when you're budgeting for your first website or your startup website, you got to take this into consideration. 2 years, how much is it going to cost me, right? Do your own math, find out. Come to hosting, again, the same thing. How much is it going to cost me if I run this for 2 years, right? 4 times 24 months or whatever. Okay. The other thing is, with these networks, Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, and the likes of them, they control, it's a software, it's a platform. All what you're buying is a membership on their platform. This is actually like renting an Airbnb somewhere, right? You can't change anything there. Like the owner of the Airbnb is giving you their place to stay. So you can stay there, right? Pretty much, but you cannot do anything. Let's say if the Wi-Fi there in your Airbnb is too slow, you can't go on and opt in and get a new Wi-Fi service because you need something that's faster or better. You can't. So it's the same thing with these platforms. If there's a feature or something that your business needs as it grows and they don't have it on the platform, you can't have it forever. Like they control the platform. If they decide to introduce something else or do some changes or whatever, these changes will affect your website and your business because you have no control. You're just like a tenant. Whereby when you have your hosting, to a much larger extent, you're in full control. If you don't like the hosting company, guess what? You can just take the whole of your website and migrate it somewhere else. You don't have to redesign it again. It just moves with you so easily. There's no problem with that, especially if it's a WordPress website. Okay, the old style websites before we had these content management and blog systems used to be just HTML and JavaScript. So it was a matter of copying the whole folder, taking it on your hard drive, get a new hosting, put the folder in, and it works. It's a little bit more complicated these days, but pretty much you can move a whole WordPress website in under half an hour. It's not a big deal. And it doesn't lose any of its design or anything, as opposed to building it here and then trying to move it elsewhere later on. That will not work. So number one, you have no control over the platform. You cannot add or remove any features unless they have them for you. And this is pretty much the difference between the tiers here. Like, you know, if you want to customize, for example, the cascading style sheets, the JavaScript, you cannot do it if you're on the personal level. You got to upgrade to business. So you pay a little bit more, and then they allow you a little bit more control. And that's pretty much how it works. Okay. So yeah, I said there's two main things you need to be aware of. Control over your website, right? You don't have much control on these networks. The other thing is the payment that you have is forever. It doesn't stop. So while these networks are great and they certainly have many benefits, especially when you're starting up or when you have a brand new business idea and you want to try it, like build a website quickly and see if it gains any traction, whatever. The barrier to entry here is very, very low. You can just get in, get everything done within a day or something if you know what you're doing. But it's exactly the same case when you have your own hosting. All what you need is to click buy your hosting, go inside, install WordPress, and then choose a template. So it's more or less the same. I don't understand how like many times people say that WordPress is hard. I learned WordPress in no time. Okay, I'm a techie, so maybe you'll say, oh, you're just saying that to make it easy for people to use WordPress. But the reality of things is that 30% or 35% of all the websites you see online are based on WordPress. So if it wasn't that good, if it wasn't easy to learn, how come 1/3 of the internet is using WordPress? It is versatile, easy to learn. It's got a lot of free templates, and even if you end up buying a premium template because you want to have a premium design and you want to do it all on your own, a premium template or theme, as we call them, probably costs about $100 or less, and it's a one-off payment, right? You're in full control. You can move from your hosting company, because let's face it, technology changes. Hosting companies also have different bits and pieces, new services, new additions that they do to make your website faster and more secure and stuff. And most of the web hosting companies actually give the biggest discount when you're a brand new customer. So it actually pays to move every year or two or whatever. And as I said, like, you can move the whole website with you. It takes about half an hour. And if it's too complicated, or if it's an e-commerce shop that has so many products on it, it might take maybe 2 or 3 hours to move it between one host and another, but it's pretty much doable, rather than being stuck on one of the platforms that is not portable and you cannot take your site away without having to redesign the whole thing. So that wraps up this video. Thank you. See you on the next one. Bye.
Hang on, don't go away yet. Now that you've completed this video, I'm going to have to ask you to click on the like if you have enjoyed it, because everybody likes to be liked, you know? You can also subscribe. That way, you're going to get all of the cool YouTube stuff made by this guy right here. And finally, why not let all your friends know how great you thought this video was? You can share it with them or even use it in your blog. Thank you. Thank you very much. We see you soon.